Welcome to the Educator's Altar. Remember, when educators arise, nations shift. This is Tom Phonics, the school business architect, and yet another episode at the Educator's Altar. So, this is going to be a critical session, okay? And it's how to stop losing money in your school without raising fees. So, if you're a school owner or director, and you know this truth. See, raising fees is often the default reaction when cash flows tightens, right? Resources dwindle, parents push back. But you see, raising fees is a short-term fix. It risks reputation, enrollment, and long-term sustainability. Okay, and yeah, we're gonna shift the mindset, because instead of fee hikes, we're gonna be fixing leakages. I'm gonna build a robust system, enforce clarity, and recapture value you already have. So this is a strategic, psychological, operational play, not simply you just have to raise your fees because there's no money coming in. See, by the end of this session, you're going to diagnose exactly where your money is being lost in your school ecosystem, not just fees not being paid. And we're going to install 4 high leverage systems to seal the leaks and stabilize cash flow. And we're going to create an action plan to recover lost income, build predictability, and set the stage for monetizing value up without fee hike. So let's open a compelling truth. You see, a school with 300 students, average fee of 200k per term, just like is an example rather, has potential revenue of 60 million per term. Yes, so if you have just 10% leakage, that's like 6 million, and you're essentially running with a blind spot. Raising fees by 5%, you try to plug 3 million there, right? But you still have 3 million escaping, still bleeding. So you fix the escape first, then you optimize value, then you grow. That sequence is the power move. It is the power move. You see, let me just share with you to diagnose the money drain, mapping your losses. Number 1 is hidden leak. You need to categorize, you must map. So to stop losing money, you first need to see where it is leaking. And here are common invisible drains in your school. Okay, 1, student attrition, like unplanned withdrawals. Now, where it is leaking, this attrition, each student who leaves maybe midterm, they often leave partial fee, right, or enrollment slot unfilled for the remainder of the term. And number 2, it's unpaid or delayed fees. Almost everybody goes through this, right? And the old we'll pay later, don't worry, narrative swells, collections are weak, no policy enforcement, the backlog becomes huge. And you see that discount waivers, informal deals, every concession you give outside policy chips away revenue. Okay, and the administrative inefficiencies, manual billing, data errors, slow reminders, misapplied payment, it's costing you staff time and lost revenue. And there's one we call cost overruns. Yes, that is unchecked expense growth. This is on the loss side rather of the equation. So if your cost base is expanding, you may feel like you're losing money even if fees are consistent. And the last one is on the monetized assets and services. You may have value you give away, like transport, after school clubs, premium service, which could be charged or optimized. So here's how to turn your diagnosis into actionable data. First, I want you to pull last 3 years of enrollment and fee collection data. I want you to segment them by term, grade level, and levers midterm unpaid fees. So you're going to calculate your effective fee collection rate for those in the community. If you are not in our community, please check the description, and there's going to be a link there. So get into the community. We do real practicals there, unlike here. Okay, so where was I? Okay, I said calculate your your effective fee collection rate. Your effective fee collection rate is fees that have been billed minus the unpaid, waived, now divided by fees that are billed. Your target is going to push this to 98%, maybe positive, and you need to identify average student life cycle. If a student leaves at midterm, cost to lost revenue and fill gap in your model, and you need to map your cost growth. You see, teacher salary, utilities, transport, stationery, are they growing faster than enrollment plus fees? And you need to use what we call heat map, which grade levels have highest unpaid withdrawals, which parent profiles. This gives you where to intervene. If you don't understand, go back again and listen to it very well. Do you understand? See, most school owners think, and we need to raise our fees, but a top performing school owner thinks, okay, where am I losing value? I already have, and how do I extract it clearly before I ask for more? If you notice, I'm not being faster because this has to do with money. So you see, the loss map gives you your low hanging money. It's less risky, more controllable, and sends a message: oh, we are efficient, we value your investment, we are not just another school linking fees. That is that about the loss map. You see, your first system is making your fee structure unbreakable, making your fee structure visible and enforceable. This is the contract you have with parent and student, and every leak must pass through one, the policy. Design the policy. In the community, someone shared how the fee collection was a problem, and that parents were threatening her. I mean, you don't have a business, you have sold a service, which is a loan, because school business is actually loan. People don't even pay; they already use the service before they pay. So, threatening about, if you do anyhow, I want to withdraw my child. Man, I just didn't say anything, because why will it get to that point? Why should it get to that point? Policy. Your written policy must have deadlines, installment options, late fee penalties, consequences for non-payment. It must. A parent must sign on it. They must read it and sign on it. From the moment they are coming to your school, like they're registering their student, give it to them as part of the form and have an orientation with them. The way you onboard teachers or staff, onboard parents too, and let them know that this is our policy on fee. So when they sign, there are terms and conditions. When you open an email or when you open something online, they will tell you to tick something, right? Tick terms and conditions, agree or disagree. When you disagree, then definitely you can't be opted into their framework or into their destiny. So they must tick agree or disagree. And number 2, you must list your discount and waiver options clearly. If it's optional, the policy govern, not ad hoc, then you must define withdrawal policy. If a student leaves midterm, what happens to their fee? What notice is required, and how is the slot filled or field managed? Do you understand? And you must integrate contract for parents. Okay, at enrollment, I've said it. And each renewal, like this term, you're coming in next term, have parents sign an agreement that references your fee policy. This is legal grounding. It creates accountability. Do you understand? And at admission, renewers send the policy and highlight the why. This is fairness, this is clarity, and this quality continuity. Use orientation meetings, brochures, WhatsApp group, email to reinforce. We deliver quality, timely programs, so the financial side must be clear too, and make payment due date visible, either on your website or your notice board or your receipt. And you see, late payments, enforce late fee or action. For example, maybe you are holding the report. Of course, there's nobody even care about the report. Exclusion from some things and all of that. As per your policy, maybe drop off privileges and exam sitting, school photo release. Just use an enforcement lever, so you should be able to think. Then make board and management aware of your policy and publicize rather. Is non-negotiable each time. Consistency builds culture, and you need to ask parent. Are parents actually aware of your policy? Are exceptions creeping in? Is the contract being honored? So you must keep track of waivers. You must keep track of discounts given outside policy. Log them and ask, did this decision actually cost us revenue? Was it strategic or reactionary? Because in result of system 1, fee commitment locked in, fewer surprises, parents know you mean business, and collection baseline strengthened. Now that you have the policy, the next system is operational. Billing, follow-up, collections. You see, without workflow precision, you will still lose money through delay, either you forgot or manual error. So, first, you need to use tech or structured manual workflow. If budget allows, you need to adopt a school management system that integrates billing and parent portal reminders according to recent industry guidance. Now, this is a key strategy in 2025. If you don't have a school management system, you can send us an email. Okay, so we'll link you to one of our vendors. And if it's manual, you need to create a structured workflow, document the policy for your account, account team, and timeline of invoice issuance, reminder, escalation, final, action. For example, let's look at the timeline action. Good. Week 0, start of the term. Generate fee bills and send to parents, maybe through email, WhatsApp, hard copy, blah blah blah. Week 1, first payment due date reminder. Week 2, reminder that maybe through SMS, WhatsApp, or email. Week 3, late fee penalty and notification of consequences. And in week 4, direct call. Don't waste time. That's the first month, right? Out of 3 months, direct call. Don't let it wait. Don't let it wait to week 8. Direct call or meetings with parents to negotiate payment plan. And week 5, suspend access to anything. Suspend access of the children. And in week 6, escalation to board management or school owner, or you are the owner. Escalate possible withdrawal of the child if there is no plan. Then you must have multiple payment options, okay, for conveniences. Okay, make it easy for parents. Online payment, bank transfer, mobile money, because some of them, they know you don't have something, they will just say like, I don't know how to go to the bank, and I don't have cash. Do you do this? Do you have mobile money? Installment, make it easy. See, the more frictionless the payment, the higher the collection rate. So show receipt instantly. Let parent portal show outstanding balances, and you must track and report. You see, weekly dashboard for the finance team, total billed versus total collected versus outstanding, new entries, levers, contact example, and you must grade them. Which classes tracks are weak, and you must have the parent segmentation. Identify high risk account, history of late payment, flag them early. Those parents that used to owe till late, those ones, you must flag them. You must know them. You see, your finance team must be proactive in calls, in WhatsApp message, in personal meetings. Because every day there are distractions, especially in this country. So much distractions. I was in school one time, a parent came by 7 and said, "Oh, do you know I forgot that I even had children?" So much distractions. And you must build payment on time as the norm in your school culture. Celebrate classes and parents who meet deadlines. For example, thank you to the class of 5A, 100% fee paid by week 2. Post it. That's right now. Post it. Use monthly parent meeting to highlight the importance of fees for sustaining quality teaching facilities. You see, link the ask to value delivered. Do you understand? You must link it. You see, even with excellent fee collection, you can still lose money if cost control is weak. In system 3 is about alignment. I've talked about system 2, right? System 2 was was about automated billing and collection workflow. So even if this workflow that I just mentioned, this one workflow that I just mentioned, you can still lose money. System 3 now, which is going to be cost control and value reallocation, is about aligning your cost based with strategic priorities, cutting waste and reallocating resources to revenue enhancing value. Number one, your cost audit. You need to build a cost breakdown: staff salaries, utility, maintenance, transport, stationery, extras. Compare year on and year growth. Then number two, you need to identify your cost growth areas that are not driving value. For example, unchecked overtime or overstaffing or underutilized facilities. Then you need to benchmark: what is your cost per student? How does it compare with peer schools in your market? And you need to eliminate or renegotiate. And in eliminating or renegotiating, let's check your utility bills, check the usage, negotiate bulk deals or energy saving upgrades for those using the normal power supply. You need to look at the cost, how much you spend per month. And in your transport, you need to optimize routes for those doing transport business in school, the bus service. Look at optimize the route, the fuel seat, the charge appropriately for underused trips. And in your services, you need to look at vendors for stationary cleaning, maintenance, put contract on review and tender them periodically. And in staff deployment, align teacher student rations to optimal. Avoid padding for prestige. So if you can't monetize the additional cost, okay, are you with me? You see, if you free up like so amount by reducing cost, invest in a premium after school program, like add a value added service, maybe coding, robotics or edtech, that you can charge for. Now use the savings to deliver visible quality enhancement. Use it to deliver that. This builds parents' trust and improves retention and opens up to new income streams. So you need to create tiered optional value services like normal tuition versus premium add-ons. Use cost savings to buy and pilot the premium services. And yes, please explain to parents how cost control helps you maintain quality, rather than we cut costs so we raise fee less. Frame it as, see, we keep our quality high while staying affordable. Use case studies. Last year, we renegotiated our power contract. It saved us 15% of transport costs. Those savings are reinvested into teaching tools so your child gets better value. Do you understand? So now that you have tightened policy, streamlined collection, and controlled costs, let's move on to capturing new income without raising fees. Let's look at the first I have on my list is premium add-ons. Okay, offer extra curricular clubs, advanced tutoring, weekend workshops, holiday camps, and please charge separately from the normal fee, tuition fee. Make them optional but desirable. Differentiate quality and spotlight exclusivity, and use existing infrastructure like your labs, your halls, after school times, so incremental cost is low but your margin is going to be high. And I have the alumni community monetization. Many schools don't actually do this. Okay, you need to develop an alumni program, charge for premium mentorship sessions or alumni events, and use the school brand for short courses like adult learners, evening classes for adults, or jump, and some other schools do that. So, and you must sponsor a led event, like invite community businesses to sponsor facilities or events. Now, this brings income and builds brands. Do you understand? Now, do you own a facility or hall, playground, field? Start renting. Okay, where is it? Okay, Rent them out during holidays, weekends, or events, sport conferences, even for campground. Yeah, there are some churches that are looking for instead of their members to go to hotels, which is going to be like double the price. So you can actually give them lesser by using your classrooms as rooms. Okay, so link your school with an edtech companies, you see, or NGOs or corporate CSR programs who will provide funding, sponsorship, or grants for premium programs. There are many. Research. Well, maybe some of these days as we grow, we'll start bringing them to the platform. That's why you need to subscribe. You need to subscribe and keep on watching us. Okay, offer branded programs like XYZ Coding Academy powered by so people. You get resources plus visibility, and parents get value. You get revenue plus brand lift. You see, every student retained for a full year instead of leaving midterm is additional revenue. So treat retention like income generation. Implement loyalty incentives like referral programs. Parents will bring their friends, get discount or bonus service, sibling discounts. It must be structured though. It must be structured and policy driven. Don't just because they have 4 children. This is. You must also give early registration bonuses. You must, and track retention percentage year to year. You must make retention your KPI for leadership team. Are you with me? See, systems fail. Let me not lie. Systems fail unless culture supports them. So this section that I'm going to talk about, or this particular one I'm going to talk about, is about behavioral strategy. How to create a school culture that supports payment discipline, value recognition, and community buy-in. For example, for number one rather, you need to construct your investment story. Parents must see their fee as investment rather than cost. So use communication like your commitment today builds their future, support our teachers training, maintains our small classes. Use storytelling, show alumni success, teacher development, facility upgrades, all funded by disciplined fee collection, and how that benefits current parent. Let parents see that their money is being used for something, because when they see it, they get if they don't pay, then it's their children investment they're actually fighting with rather. You need to celebrate class or cohort that meet fee targets early. Put them on the public board. Class 6A, 100% fees paid by week 1. Thank you, parent. Publish it internally. You know what I mean? Internally. Publish it internally. Outstanding fee statistics. Transparency actually raises accountability. Okay? And use context like, for example, parent payment drive. Fastest 50% payment rate gets special event. Use gamification to shift behavior. You see, and you need to hold termly parent meeting every term, focusing on school financial health. You see what was collected, what was spent, how quality improved. This actually builds trust and reduces resistance. Include parents in the why of policy enforcement. When fees are late, we delay buying new textbook. Your cooperation keeps the engine running. Let them know you sound this as an anthem to them. So use WhatsApp groups for real-time updates, reminders, SMS, easy Q&A. See, the more they see and they hear, the less friction on payment. And your staff must see fee collection and cost control as part of their job. They must educate them, not the one that they become how do we call them, loud. No, they don't become loud. They don't become those at the bus stop on how to they collect taxis or that's the right word. The right words. Tax collectors. No, educate them. They're educators. So you educate them. When fees are delayed, we can't pay supplies or improve your training. Let them know. Set metrics for admin and finance team. Like for example, fee collection rate target, outstanding fee reduction goals, make it part of their KPIs. Make it part of it. And you need to turn your cost control and income generation into school quality initiatives, not just finance stuff. Okay, now we translate strategy into action. So let's look at 6 weeks rollout plan. You can adapt this so if you want to. Each week has specific deliverables. Like for week 1, we're going to pull data like last 3 years enrollment, the fee collection, the outstanding fees, the midterm withdrawals, and the cost growth. Map the top 3 leak categories in your school. Convene meeting of your leadership. Do you understand? Meeting of your leadership. Convene meeting of your leadership and share loss map. Create urgency. Assign accountability. And you must draft or review your fee policy document. So now move on to week 2. Week 2 is the fee policy rollout. In this week 2, you must finalize your fee policy, contract template for parents and withdrawal policy. And you must communicate to staff, you must communicate to your leadership team, and you must communicate to parent representative group. And you must publish summary for parents, either in the WhatsApp or like a newsletter. And you must train your finance or admin staff on enforcement steps. Now, in the week 3, what you need to do is billing workflow and collection system. How do you do that? Map out your current billing process, and you must identify the bottleneck, like either manual steps or delay. Then choose the tech or portal or refine your manual processes. Make sure you set timeline schedule for it. And you must create a reminder template, a script. Email, SMS, WhatsApp. You must have a script. They don't have to say it from their head. Hence, they would say something that is not your culture. Okay, and they must have a dashboard. You must have a dashboard metrics. Okay, you must like a data analysis, or maybe use Excel or maybe Microsoft Excel or Google Excel. There must be a dashboard metric. Okay, target for collection rate, outstanding reduction. Then we'll move on to week 4. Week 4 is a cost audit and resource reallocation, because you must present cost breakdown to leadership. Identify your 2 to 3 major cost growth areas to act on, and develop an action plan to negotiate or optimize costs. And you must identify one premium service, like an added value you can actually launch using your saved resources. I've said that. You can rewind to get to hear that. And you must communicate to parent, because communication actually matters. Let them know we are redirecting service into. You must have a buy-in that you're building. So moving on to week 5 now. This is the income diversification launch. You launch your first premium add-on. It could be a value-added after-school club, or a weekend course, or facility rental program. Anything, just market it to parent first, because they're your first audience. Okay, then identify a partner sponsorship or asset rental opportunity in your area and negotiate with them. Then set initial revenue target for the new stream. And finally, in week 6, it's your culture and accountability being embedded into your school. Hold parents meeting, maybe through WhatsApp or live session. Share. We title it the state of the school. Finance summary in fee collection rate, in cost savings, and in new income. Publicize the class that met fee target easily, and you must set every month, the next time KPI rather. The next time set a KPI that has retention rate, that has fee collection percentage, and outstanding fee ratio. New income stream revenue, and you must always create follow-up schedule, either monthly check-in and dashboard leadership reviews. You see, ongoing, you need to review and refine. Review. You see, monthly, you must update your dashboard. You must identify deviation from target. See, school business is war. That's why I'm taking my school business as well. I'm trying to pick my words. I'm trying to be careful. This is a masterclass that you should pay 1,000 for. So the best you can do, the best you can give to me now is to share this. Comment below and share. And share. One thing you know is you can't have all the pupils or students in your community coming to your school. This is where collaboration matters. Share this. Share this. I've talked about ongoing, right? You can also review quarterly, and in quarterly, revisit your policy every quarter. Your cost base and your new income streams, tweak them accordingly, especially your policy. And annually, you must have a full review of your fee policy, your system's cost base, and you must always set next year's strategic target. You see, let's apply this framework that I just said with a realistic scenario. This school I'm showing you. You see, Emerald Academy, actually, this is not, I'm not calling the name of any school. This is just an example of a school that just came into my head. Okay, so please, even if your school bears Emerald, I'm not talking to you. Emerald Academy actually bills 180k per student per term. Now the potential revenue per term was 36 million, and last term collection was about 33.5. That's 7% outstanding. The midterm withdrawals were 8 students, lost revenue of 1.440. Now the cost growth, that is utility plus transport, was up to 12% year on year, while enrollment constant. You see, in the loss map, the unpaid was 2.5 approximately. Let's put it like that. Then the withdrawal midterms were 1.440. Then the cost overrun, that's additional 720,000 naira, which is the total money lost. It's equal to 4.660, and that's 13% of potential. You understand? So you see, the action was the fee policy rewrite. So I announced full-term payment discount and late fee penalty and structural installment, because your school might be in there. So I'm using this as an example, practical on what to do. Number one, we did the fee policy. Number two was billing workflow. We launched online portal plus outstanding instruction option, like first reminder in week 1 and call by week 3. Then we did cost audit, which we renegotiated transport contract, converted 20% of trips to shared route, and that saves 300k. And there was an income add-on that started Saturday, which was a coding and robotic club, and charged 50k per term for 60 students. Potential income was about 3 million naira. And in culture, we published monthly fee health report to parents. We celebrated class with 100% payment week 2, which was I remember primary 4B. And in 6-week target, which we, because everything must have a schedule, right? I told you must have a schedule. We reduced unpaid rate from 7% to 3%, which was the first 2 terms. Then reduced midterm withdrawal by 50%, and the new income streams yielded 1.5 million by that third term. So the result was Emerald Academy stabilized cash flow, reduced dependency on fee hikes, and improved their parent trust, and shifted from reactive to proactive financial leadership. You see, every school tries this and still stumbles. So gonna be some of the typical traps and your strategic counter move. For example, fee policy exists but not enforced. I read that in the community, this last weekend. We have fee policy, but they are not respecting. You see, so you may have a document rather, but no consistent action. So in order to counter this is leadership alignment. So make enforcement non-negotiable, train your team, publicly recognize compliance, and transparently show enforcement, or over complex billing process. So if parents see, I have to fill forms, I have to go to the office, I have to pay manually, friction kills compliance. Okay, so you need to have the simplest payment path wins. So use mobile money, USSD, online portal, POS, standing instruction. You see, the frictionless path will become your default. Or some of the cost cutting staff or services to save costs but harming quality will actually kill enrollment and retention. So you need to have a cost control. It must be strategic and value preserving. You see, every cost decision must ask, will this preserve or enhance value in the eyes of parent and student? If not, though, you need to rethink. And you see the premium add-ons mismarketed. You introduce a club or a course, but you only a handful sign up because it looks optional or relevant. No. You need to launch. You need to launch with a strong value message. A strong value message. Why your child needs this now. Okay? Why your child needs this club now. Why do Coca-Cola keep on advertising? Why do Google keep on advertising? Why do Pepsi, even though many of us drink them, but they keep on advertising every day? They're showing that on our faces. Showing it on their faces. So, in your this thing, you have limited seats, early bird pricing, use testimonials, linked to core school brand. Then number 5 is the culture being overlooked. You see, your systems alone don't shift behavior. If staff and parents see payment enforcement as meanness, you will face pushbacks. So you need to frame everything as partnership for quality education. Use transparency, parent education, and storytelling. So before we close, before I wrap up this, because we've used more than our usual time, let's anchor. Okay, that's for my slide. This mindset is going to be a mission. Your school cash flow is a system, not just a fee line. You optimize collection, you optimize cost, you optimize value and retention. Okay, so write what you've got in here or in your notepad and write in the comment section. Your value creates trust, and your trust produces willingness to pay. So don't demand payment because you are desperate, but invite payment because you deliver. Then retention and full-term fulfillment matters more than fee hikes. So a student paid full-term is worth far more than two students who paid half-term. And you need to diversify your income. It removes fee pressure. When you add premium services and asset rental, you shift the model from fees only to ecosystem of education investment. Culture, it's policy for breakfast. Okay, make your community of parents, make your community of student, staff parts of the financial health story. And small changes compound. Reducing your unpaid rate from 7% to 3% may be easier, okay, than raising fees 10%. Okay, you are closing the low-hanging legs first. So you see, you are sitting on potential you are not yet capturing. Every student who leaves early, every parent who delays payment, every cost overrun that slips through the system, they are your silent profit drains. But you can turn it around. With the 4 system we covered: the policy, billing, collection, workflow, cost control and value reallocation, income diversification, and the behavioral framework layered in, you will shift from sorry, we have to raise fee again, to we are thriving, adding value, expanding without bothering payment. So here's going to be your immediate action this week. Pull your last 3 term data and build your loss map. Convene your leadership team and present the loss map. You must create urgency. Draft or revise your fee policy document and send to parents by the end of week. And select one premium add-on service you can launch in the next 60 days. I hope you enjoyed this. Okay, so if you enjoyed it, please subscribe, comment, and share this to one school owners that you actually would love to see Israel School grow. Until I come your way, this is the Educator's Altar with Tom.